Hello, this is Devonta Arrington. This is How Does the Process Get Started Part 2. So I explained in the first one how the process gets started with the contract. So now I'm going to understand and I'll let you know once we get the process started, with the contract and it gets sent to the attorney, what is the next step? So the next step is going ahead and finding a qualified buyer. Now on the site Veteran Home Realty, I'm definitely an expert in marketing. I'm definitely an expert in marketing and being able to find qualified buyers as well as properties. But how I find buyers, I use a multiple list of services: Facebook, Google, YouTube, just all over, signs. And when these buyers give me a call, they reach out on my website, I go ahead and ask them a series of questions. What is the best down payment? What are you looking to pay monthly? How many years do you need to get qualified for a loan? What is your credit score? How much income do you have? What job position do you have? Are you self-employed? What is your yearly income? How much do you make a month? So we just ask some series of questions like that to get them qualified to see where they're at in the process of getting qualified, because that is ultimately, the main process of, this whole endeavor. We want to get you guys cashed out. So the down payment is nice, but yet you need to move on from the house, correct? So that is the main process. And then what we do is we go ahead and we use a service called Screen the Tenant, screenthetenant.com. And this is very, very crucial and very, very important. And this is, definitely a very big risk, especially for Veteran Home Realty, by not qualifying a tenant exclusively and thoroughly, because there's backlash. So don't necessarily think that we can just, come in and make money, be done with the house, and we're out of the woods. Because what happens, and I've seen it happen to a person already, is you get a tenant in there and he doesn't qualify at the end of a term, or they were just never meant to be ready to buy that house. That can fall back on whoever facilitated the deal. That is actually known as the Dodd-Frank Act. It is actually there to protect buyers and sellers, but it protects the buyers a lot because the housing bubble, where a lot of people that had they had no business getting any mortgage lending because they worked at McDonald's and they were qualified for a house. Now they enforced the Dodd-Frank Act to be able to stop a bubble from happening again. So they want you to make sure, me to make sure, a company to make sure that everything is in compliance to making sure that the buyer is qualified to purchase the house. And if you put somebody in there that isn't qualified, then that's some serious backlash. You can end up getting sued. Of course, I'm speaking about myself. So that's why it's very, very important that I especially pick a qualified high level individual. And that's another reason of why I go with this business route of houses $200,000 and up, because I know that it's going to attract a certain individual. I know that it's going to attract a responsible person, somebody that has put the work in to reach the level of success that he or she has. And I realize that they're serious about their life, so they're going to be serious and thoughtful and considerate about the risks and the adversities that could come up in the situation that we have. So they're very, very thoughtful people, and this is why I deal with these type of people, is because they keep things more considerate. So that's the process. When I go ahead and I find a buyer who I feel as though is the best ranking out of all of them, I go ahead and put him through the process and see how long it takes him to get qualified after I see his credit, everything. Once I put him in Screen the Tenant, that will tell me everything: credit score, what he has to clear up to be able to get his credit score higher, what he has to clear up to be able to get financed for a loan. That will just tell me everything, how long it will take him, and just that process alone, it will give us a solid game plan on what we could put together for terms. Because in actuality, you might actually only want 3 years, 4 years, but it could take some people 8 years, 10 years. And the way that we structure the deal, actually putting the deal in 8 to 10 years could actually be beneficial to you. So it's all about just having a large array of options and just seeing who's the best candidate for the situation of what we're doing, and who's the best candidate for the overall mission statement, for lack of a better term of words. So that is how the process starts, part 2.